Great morning and welcome to Crypto Vault. Fetch.ai is an aggressive blockchain project that intends to give a stage to the advancement of independent AI and AI networks that professes to address the eventual fate of digitized information commercial centers. As the digital currency market proceeds to advance and branch out into new domains, financial backers are on the chase after the ventures that can lead the way and possibly corner new business sectors. We have proactively witnessed this with DeFi and NFTs, yet consideration is presently going to the tasks that can uphold the always extending elements of digital money and blockchain projects like Fetch.ai. Most perusers will presumably have some thought of how computerized reasoning is being utilized to reform everything from the lawful business to how we drive vehicles, so the capability of a decentralized AI economy, for example, Fetch.ai gives may be genuinely self-evident. The inquiry for financial backers will be whether the innovation behind the task can take care of business. Obviously, Fetch.ai is an exceptionally mind-boggling project for certain extremely creative elements, including an extraordinary proof-of-work agreement system and a 3-section innovation stack. All of this is supported by its local digital money, FET. So is Fetch.ai a decent choice for financial backers, or is the undertaking essentially too aggressive to be in any way suitable? In the accompanying Fetch.ai cost expectation for 2025 and 2030, we'll investigate the stage, its reasonable use cases, and what investigators are talking about its future potential. A quick history of Fetch.ai. Fetch.ai was formally sent off in 2019 through the Binance Launchpad. Be that as it may, it has its beginnings about 2 years sooner when two firms, May and Uview, united to make a UK-based startup. This element was then gotten by the Binance gas pedal, which prompted the ICO that raised an expected $10 million in only 10 seconds. At first, Fetch was promoted as being important for the fourth modern unrest and a task that could decentralize the AI that controlled famous frameworks, like Amazon's Alexa. Fetch.ai. An overview to say that Fetch.ai is an aggressive venture is something of a misrepresentation of reality. Set forth plainly, what the venture intends to do is give a stage that can computerize various business sectors and cycles that at present require a lot of manual work. The organization is comprised of different independent specialists which can address associations, people, or gadgets and administrations, and be entrusted with different capacities. These specialists can use AI to work autonomously and give always complex administrations. It is trusted that, as the Fetch.ai biological system develops, engineers from large companies will fabricate and send a greater amount of these specialists on the organization. After some time, these specialists will actually want to speak with each other to trade, worth, data or offer types of assistance to each other. Thusly, Fetch.ai means to make a totally decentralized AI economy. The technology behind Fetch.ai. It will most likely come as little shock that the operations of Fetch.ai are colossally complicated and a long ways past the extent of this video. Nonetheless, we will attempt to explain a portion of the key basics. Fetch.ai is comprised of 3 particular parts. Autonomous Economic Agents, AEA, Open Economic Framework, F, and the Fetch Smart Ledgers. Obviously, driving the biological system is the FET token. Independent economic agents. These are the AI, bots and calculations that are made to follow up in the interest of associations, people and administrations. They can be associated with everything from genuine equipment, information sources or programming, permitting them to satisfy their jobs as required. The errors are additionally worked with AI, so the Open Economic Framework. The Open Economic Framework utilizes computerized reasoning to advance the inventory and utilization of data to help the AEAs. The AEAs can get to information created by the F through hub administrators. These hub administrators are compensated with FET for giving solid data. Bring smart ledgers. The Fetch smart ledgers are important for a confounded design that utilizes something many refer to as coordinated non-cyclic diagram, DAG, innovation. The FSL are answerable for overseeing trust and insight to guarantee the Fetch biological system stays secure and works as it ought to. This layer utilizes AI and AI to find how various business sectors connect. Obviously, these portrayals are very essential and serve just to provide expected financial backers with a thought of how Fetch.ai functions. A significant highlight remove is that AI and man-made brainpower are integrated into every one of the three levels of the foundation. The Fetch consensus model Fetch.ai depends on a creative agreement convention. New squares are made likewise to those on normal proof-of-stake stages, yet utilizes a decentralized arbitrary signal to dole out liabilities to hubs. The group behind the stage express that with this system, they have made a more versatile and energy-productive option, in contrast to the standard agreement conventions. In principle, anybody can partake in the Fetch.ai agreement model by buying a stake. A sharded blockchain implies that even at higher throughput, the typical client can in any case take part in marking from their work area. The FET token FET is an ERC20 symbolic that drives the Fetch.ai framework. It is utilized by engineers hoping to convey their representatives on the organization, as well as to pay charges for utilizing administrations and specialists sent by others. FET is likewise, obviously, utilized as a feature of the marking instrument that keeps the Fetch.ai framework running. Obviously, FET can likewise be traded on the open market, similar as some other token. The stockpile of FET is covered at 1.1 billion, with an expected coursing supply of 688,117,804 at the hour of compassing. Seeing FET's price history since it was first recorded in March 2019, Fetch.ai has seen some really intriguing cost development. At first, the token directed an exchanging cost of around 40 cents, yet after the underlying publicity faded away, its worth dropped. In May 2019, FET was exchanging at 9 cents. Before the year's over, it had dropped to 4 cents. The initial not many long periods of 2020 didn't yield much for Fetch.ai by the same token. Toward the finish of the main quarter, the token was exchanging at just 1 cent. In any case, across the mid-year it progressively started to sneak up, and in August, its exchanging value spiked to 15 cents. Tragically, this cost climb ended up being brief, and by December, FET had dropped to 5 cents. Get the job done to say, Fetch.ai's initial year and a half had been fairly dull, with the symbolic neglecting to build up forward movement. Notwithstanding, this was all to change in 2021, a year wherein FET saw a few significant rises. In February, it had arrived at an exchanging cost of 29 cents, before a bull in the initial long periods of March sent the token to more than 80 cents, denoting a development of more than 1,500% for the year. Sadly, FET couldn't hold its recently discovered incentive for a really long time, and by June it had dropped back to 20 cents. Following half a month of unpredictability, the FET was on the up once more. It had reached 61 cents toward the finish of August and kept on taking off into September, arriving at its untouched high of $1.17 after the principal week. One more time of huge cost variances followed, however FET mobilized again in December, this time cresting at around 90 cents. Indeed, the token neglected to hold its benefits and went into a precarious decrease in December, before a general market decline in the initial a long time of 2022 pounded the cost of FET down to 27 cents by March. Where to buy Fetch.ai cryptocurrency? Fetch.ai cryptocurrency venture is presently completely standard and is more famous than any time in recent memory, and that ubiquity is supposed to increment in 2022.